Welcome back, everyone, to game number 4 of Auzom Premier League EU Edition, Season 2, Lobby 1, Week 2. And update on the scoreboard, the end of last game, we saw a lot of shuffling around. Last place Method getting our first place at the end of last game. Now, instead of 16th place, they are in 7th. Zoki Nam, who were 15th, are now 9th, and Purge, who I believe were 13th, are now 8th. But amongst all of that, FaZe are still in first, and because they were one of the only teams who were at the top of the scoreboard to be in the top 5 of game number 3, they are far ahead of second place, 725 points to Penta's 478. So they put themselves on a very comfortable lead, but we still have one more game to go to see the end of everything, of really the first day of getting points. And once again, another good default plane route.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to see TSM landing in their home of Yasnaya, FaZe, floating downwards towards the Lipovka area, looking for vehicles, I imagine, to get down to Milta Power. Vitality heading down to Milta. Looks like Purge is going to be headed potentially down to Novo or Farm, maybe even contest that Milta area. Method landing in Pachinki. Standard issue for most teams here. You can see Avangar having a tough day today, looking to maybe get to South George or maybe look to land for some kills here as they are haunting Zokdi Nam here, which I believe now, I've been informed during the break, stands for looking for a name. So fair enough. So I don't know if we're gonna continue to yes. try to pronounce that, but it looks like looking for vehicles here, Cam.
Yeah, I do actually remember looking that up and laughing at that name, but then promptly forgot because I have the memory of a goldfish. What game is this?
Exactly. Tony Sosa by himself, just outside of Razak. So we'll see now. I mean, I guess looking at the scoreboard, Cam, as teams kind of fan out looking for loot. You know, some bit of a shakeup, like you said, at that after that last game. Method jumping from last place all the way up to 7th. Still a relatively tough day for them, only with 7 kills total. TSM, similar situation, finding themselves out of the games relatively early, 10th place for them. But for the most part, Tiger Mafia, I think, stands out as the only team with 0 kills so far in this 3-game set. So fairly tough day. Actually, that's really bad. I mean, that's not a bad team, just a bad day. No kills, second to last place. Avangar rounding out the bottom, but looking towards the top. Penta, you know, still holding on, second place finish, commanding lead. Well, not commanding, I would say. Air Station Mike hanging out as well, but the commanding lead sits with FaZe Clan. They are 300 points or so ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, it's quite big. It's quite huge. And they are actually even less contested earlier on the map right now. Earlier, we saw a couple members of Exalt Gaming be around the Lipo area, be around the prison area, but now that those places on the map are absolutely open, so they're going to have as much loot as they need on the map. Pop back over to Tony Sosa right now, just jumping over thin air.
Yeah, that's the new feature in the game, being able to vault over invisible objects. You know, his mime skills are 2nd level. That's
really good pantomiming, actually.
I be able to control gravity for your pantomime skills. You know, it's a performance for the ages.
Oh god, no! So I've actually taken I was a theater major, and so I've taken movement classes, and part of that was pantomiming. And I'm now just imagining what it takes to, because pantomiming is actually very, very difficult because you have to move your body with like, if your hand is supposed to be touching an invisible object, that needs to stay still. It's oh god, it's difficult. And so if someone actually could do that, what we just saw Tony do with thin air, would be absolutely amazing. I don't even think it's possible, but nonetheless, Hayes from Big actually taking the initial dive in onto a more central compound. We've seen more and more teams do this. Oop, it's fine, he's got it. BMX, we go. We've seen more and more teams actually send a scout out, or someone, I actually think it was Hayes from Team Liquid, who, when he was on that team, to do the same thing, to be the first player and take a compound and hold it for the rest of his team to finish their loot and then come and join him in. Looks like he's going to take one that's pretty much dead center of the circle right now.
Yeah, that double stack red building there, red buildings, I should say, is a fairly popular compound. Gives you good vision. So Hayes getting that early, hopefully able to potentially defend it against Purge being nearby. So Hayes from Big getting in there. We come here to Ironmean, traveling along as well. So this will be a transition phase to see if some of these teams who are on the lower end of the leaderboard want to try and do their best. Big being, you know, 14th place, maybe looking to make a splash here in this final game and try and climb their way out of the bottom half of the leaderboard. Lots of teams transitioning right now, but mostly still looting. I'm not sure if this is not going to go military base, but this might be like a
It
Pachinki area.
could.
Very hopefully not, because that'll mean a lot of water
It
later.
could. I wouldn't wager that it is,
Yeah,
but it is within the realm of possibility.
absolutely. It is certainly possible. However, not wanted by literally anybody, including the
I
players,
don't want
viewers,
it.
or myself. So
Yeah, I don't
hopefully
want it.
not. Pray for a decent circle, uncharged, still roaming around. So yeah, I suppose if we're looking at any teams that are kind of hanging out in the middle, I would expect to see Team Vitality trying to make a jump here, sitting in 5th place, well within striking distance of that 2nd place. I don't think anyone's going to be able to catch phase today with 35 kills. Jempty on his own represents 16 kills out of phase's 35. So that's a pretty incredible performance from Jempty today.
Yeah.
So that's some high level gameplay right there. Method also rotating.
Yeah, FaZe has always been a team of multiple high fraggers, but Jempty, at least for me, has always stood out as kind of being like just like that one extra level above everyone else. And 16 kills out of the 35 in 3 games is, yeah, that's continuing that trend. Method, Turtle right now, taking another position on a hillside. I'm curious to see if this is going to get contested, though, by Vitality, because I know Vitality really like to play this hill. They've historically played it a lot. But this hill in general has also become more and more popular across all teams. So we'll see if it gets contested or not. 8C, you see there on the north of the map, is going to be driving around and joining up with his teammate. Not too much contact. We see a number of teams. Look, there's, oh, how do you pronounce it? Diggory. There we go. Diggory, the lone man in a compound holding it for his team. A number of teams have been doing it in this circle.
Yeah, it's fairly common practice to send a scout out to grab a compound, know it's safe, and then they can just kind of find a path there. Method doing that with the hill cover here. Looks like Method turning now onto Blade Cedo, just driving aimlessly through the forest, and is finished easily by Energetic Turtle. So that is going to be it for him. Turtle taking him down, grabbing that loot. However, he is now notified FCE that there is a team nearby, so that's going to be some good information for them as they have a clear path towards where that compound is. A little bit of defense happening now. Andy receiving fire from Diggory. Or Digger 1, potentially. Digger 1, Diggory. Either way, Andy now having to back off and leave. So that's going to be it for Method. They're going to have to kind of move back into that hill cover. Where are we missing a 4th player from Method, or are they maybe together with Andy in the vehicle?
I am not sure. Looking at the people alive at the very beginning of the game, I suspect that we may have had an accidental drop of 1 or 2 players. But I don't know for sure, so we can just
looks like Mendy is Method is only 4 up. Andy, 8C, and Turtle. So Leighton, I believe we did see 63 players in the lobby. You're right, so it must have been Leighton dropped. I didn't see him die. Air Station Mike taking up residence a little bit south of them in the gas station. So looking for that center spot. I think Air Station Mike is very near close. The yellow cabins on the coast also close. Penta have an easy spot or easy way into the zone if they do have vehicles, or might have to run over that Razak Hill. But Vitality looking to actually looks like they're one down. No, Shiv is out there.
Nope.
Shiv
is over there scouting.
Yeah, scouting. Yeah. So Vitality, actually Shiv now under fire, barely making it through there. So he's just looking for a spot for his team. But Vitality looking to bounce back from 5th place right now. We see TSM on your screen as well. Must have heard those shots. Tiger Mafia looking to pick up a single kill still. So maybe they can get tangled up with TSM here. But TSM maybe looking to avoid that early game action that's been costing them later in the mid game.
Yeah, it's a little brutal for all these teams down in the lower end of it. Luckily enough, I guess luckily enough for them, the way that the scoring works is that the points that we're seeing right now on the scoreboard are just for this single game, and then they get just equal points based off straight positioning. But in any case, Minifridge right now trying to spot anyone out doesn't do so. Instead, him and the rest of his team are going to continue to make their way once again on foot, not in a vehicle, trying to find... I don't know exactly what they're going to be trying to go for, because if you don't have a vehicle, it's difficult to full-on breach a compound. So I guess the upside is that if they're on foot and quiet, they could spot that a compound is empty, but they potentially have to fight TSM for that compound below both of them. Shiv right now, though, continuing to be a scout. Instead, just going to take residence up on a hill, not a compound. I don't think I've ever seen Vitality go into a compound save from situations like we saw in game 2 where there was nothing else available.
Yeah, it seems that with their scouting strategy, they only kind of link up a little bit late. So we see here Quick, who has been caught out and as the scout has been caught out and downed like almost every game
Yeah.
today. So that's been tough for him. Now putting some pressure onto Big, who's in those cabins or those double stack buildings right down below him. So letting his presence be known. HC and Method still chilling in the same spot as before, getting a few shots put onto them by Air Station Mike down in the residential and commercial buildings there by the bridge. So they're aware of their presence. Looking to pop some tires here is Fuffins.
Or maybe not even pop the tire, even just blow up the whole vehicle. A bit of an investment of ammunition. Don't know how much he has in background, but actually he has his sight set on a player. Take some long range shots with that. Surprised he's not. Yep, he's swapping over the 8X to the AW. I'm going to try and go for a second peek with that. See if we can find something. It's actually going to be Monkey that gets dropped as well as Shiv. So they both get caught out by Tiger Mafia. They get their kills and they actually get them on Vitality, which are very nice picks to have.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to make it very difficult for Vitality to get out of that 5th place finish. It's going to be difficult unless they pull off a maneuver similar to what FaZe pulled off in the first game by just kind of hunkering down and sneaking their way into the top 5. But Mini Fridge Jr. there picked up a shot onto Shiv. Here comes the rest. FaZe has spotted out the rest of Vitality. Wide out in the open. Shadow going down again to a vehicle explosion. FaZe putting all sorts of pressure. Araxahaze also getting a lot of pressure put onto him. So he's trying to get away just barely. That vehicle limping to cover Araxahaze getting in here. Looks like that vehicle didn't take too much damage.
Yeah.
But that's the last remaining player of Vitality. So Vitality, very rough shape early in this game. FaZe lurking up on those bluffs there. They're in a decent position to basically play gatekeepers as anyone coming towards them. Not too many people remaining over there.
Circle.
Yeah, got a little close there. Got a little close to that military base, but we do have a significant amount of water available. However, getting there is going to be difficult. Most teams on the northern end of the map. So FaZe immediately rotating here, moving past Purge Gaming in those, Team Purge in those barns there. So FaZe, interesting to see what they're going to take here. Maybe the next set of bluffs, similar position to what they had before. Purge also rotating.
Yeah, I'm surprised Purge didn't actually take shots at FaZe. Maybe they were already in like their transition into their vehicles and didn't want to swap out of that. But Quick now, the rest of his team going to be taking shots at both those teams who are driving past. Don't land too many of them, but they do hear a little bit of action on their south as well. But yeah, not too much action happening on them. Far shots into a field aren't really going to hit. Just barely behind the tail. Those are 4 shots though, so you can't really fault them. And here comes Penta to join the party as well. See if Quick can't hit any more. This one, oh, this is another one from Purge, but it's not going to hit either. This is looking very, very familiar to last season, where it's a full-on centering, and they're all crashing in, into the same compound.
Method and Penta are going at it in the woods right now. So it looks like Simsy of Doom getting taken down. Looks like Method has taken down most of Penta, as we see here. Tony Sosa, FCE also engaged. So FCE again in the dominant position going against Big here. Big have 1 down, so they should be able to stay 4 up. So off screen, we did see Method doing a lot of damage here. Now Jazza has actually taken down Turtle. So it looks like Jazza has also been putting some pressure. Air Station Mike making it difficult for Method to maintain any level of momentum here. It looks like Andy, the last person remaining. Jazza looking for that long distance headshot, unable to get it. So it looks like Method and Penta did some mutual damage to each other. No, we have another vehicle explosion on the way. Looks like Pride taking some shots. Cloudtail as well. Sonics and Team Purge putting pressure onto them. Cloudtail actually getting downed there, not dying, but his team is not going to be able to do anything with that because their Dossie is also in very rough shape. So Cloudtail knocked out, but AMPR looks like TSM has played a bit of a spoiler here. AMPR taking some pressure from all around him. Vis coming to support. So TSM looks like AMPR is 1 shot from going down. AMPR just barely making it in along with Vis. I think that might be Method, or potentially, actually, there could be anyone shooting at him from that distance at that point.
Anyone in this field.
It looks like it's Purge. Purge is doing it, or at least he was. So AMPR did get down. Vis also down. I don't see Break. Break actually dead off screen. So TSM again in rough shape here. Vis, the last remaining teammate, And it looks like it's Mixie putting that pressure onto the remnant of TSM, which is Vis, who might be able to get a res off here. FCE is going at Big, and looks like Big is going down. So lots of action here in the mid game through this rotation phase, Cam.
Yeah, and actually looking at FaZe, they're in. I like the spot that they're taking. They're really favoring the rocks on the coast because it means that blocks off half of the angles that they have to watch. So all four of them can just watch basically what's in front of them. They don't have to worry about what's behind them, and they're not far on the edge either. So they're in a good position right now. And just looking at all the action that's happening in the center, it seems to be the right choice because they're still 4 alive. I think they're one of the only teams that is, because there are still all 16 teams, but only 50 alive. So it's been a lot of casualties.
Yeah, that's lots of trading happening. So no team knocked completely out yet. As Hayes is getting on like a hair angle, getting down again. You can see his health rapidly dropping as Big continues to get picked apart by FCE.
What angle
up in
was
this?
that?
That was that angle, that barely existing angle right there. So, so Missy or Mizey hitting those shots. It did look like AMPR did get res. So TSM still has 2 up. Purge Gaming split out. Sane right next to them. Penta looks to have 1 left too.
Can I draw your attention to Vitality, or specifically the remaining player of Vitality, or Rax, down at the very bottom of your screen?
Yeah, was he on an island?
He was on an island, but no, looks like it having action elsewhere. Skyline is not letting me do that because, oh, okay, never mind. I don't know.
It might be a bug. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Vitality got wiped.
Rax stayed alive.
Oh, is he? Okay, well, I don't know where he is, but regardless,
he's
we're looking here
he's on an island south of Ferry Pier, able to sneak his way there out alone.
Yeah, the sandbar. Yeah, good call, good call. So Tiger Mafia lurking here. There he is. He is on the sandbar. He's starting a new nation down by himself. Vitality Island.
The Orax Nation.
Orax Nation. I like it. So Tiger Mafia here looks like they're taking a little bit of attention from FaZe. We have Pin Pals nearby as well. So Tiger Mafia looks like Pin Pals has maybe heard something. Tiger Mafia must have spotted them. No shots coming out yet. Now it pops off. Mini Fridge Jr. taking out Wing Haven and finishing that one off very quickly. So excellent job there. I like it. So Pin Pals on the defensive, rotating down the hill, trying to get away. Mini Fridge Jr. pressing the action. A little bit more fire coming on to Quick. Quick taking damage. Drastically low and down. Mini Fridge getting another down there. Good work for Mini Fridge Jr. How do you say this name, Cam?
Fakita?
Fakita?
I'm guessing. Cool. This is all assumptions.
Cool. So Tiger Mafia trying to oh dang, Jempty taking where is Jempty shooting
FaZe from the south.
Yeah, I mean that's an incredible. Jempty is on another level today, and looks like Mista finished off quick there. So Tiger Mafia looking to finish these kills. Fakita trying to get away, but Jempty just stealing one there from long distance.
And this circle is going to continue to be really good for FaZe because they have good angles on a lot of the field, and they're out alone. Otherwise, you'd look at perhaps Big and FC Eastbound, which are in that compound just slightly to the southwest, the center, up against each other, and they're kind of surrounded, so they're also still in danger. But here, going back to the last member of Vitality, he's spotted out.
Yeah, it looks like he has some pressure. He's got himself an M24, so well geared is the crown prince of Vitality Island.
Looking to engage here. Peek from the north though.
Yeah, well, he's made that noise, so he is going to now. It sounds like Mixie from long distance is trying to steal his kill. I'm not sure if that's yeah, he didn't quite get it, so it looks like Banditos is going to pick up the M24 there if they want to. But Mixie split out, looking down those bluffs towards where Air Station Mike is. So well positioned. Jempty out of cover, but again gaining that vision. So Tiger Mafia looking to maybe rotate towards him. Fakita did get away. Crispier needing to replace his helmet that Jempty knocked off his head from long distance in those yellow cabin area. So FaZe isn't a great visual gaining, like a lot of information gaining their position. Oh wow, that's a butchered sentence. FaZe is in good position to gather lots of information. So Tiger Mafia having to rotate towards them, but Air Station Mike still holding strong in the south. And the remaining members of Penta split up. Player Jones in the bottom of your screen and Ultra.
Oh, yeah, okay. I thought one was left.
Yeah, Ultra is alive, and so is Player Jones there.
It's going
So
to be a
Opti,
lot of stragglers in this part of the circle, though, because there's very little cover. If you're not inside maybe those 2 compounds, or 3 if you're including Phase's compound on the edge, you're going to be lucky to find yourself a shack to hang out in. We do have Royal Banditos here on the southwest side. Really one of the only teams around here, so they are going to be safe for now. They have a nice hill to play around. They gather some information on the center of the circle, but look at the update. It's center slightly north, right on top of Team Nam.
TSM lurking as well. I think they're still huddled around what the remains of that little shack out there. So they're still holding on too strong as AMPR, but look at this compound now. FCE having to rotate big, also trying to move. I think both teams moving at the same time, leading to a little bit of damage there. Nayu going down out in this field. Jazza taking that one. Actually, it looks like Sane stole that kill. So Sane stealing that one from Air Station Mike. Sonics retreating as well. FCE's come all the way out and are now looking to pressure onto Big Clan. Hayes landing a kill. Double peak not happening. Hayes still alive and is taken down. FCE finishing off big inside there, but that was a lot of damage done to both teams there. And now FCE jumps out, taking more shots. Opchi takes a tumble off the motorcycle as it slides to a stop near Team Purge there. Vis and AMPR off to your right, listening to all this action, just chilling in the barrels, just having a good time.
Yeah, just barely enough cover to not get spotted, or at least they hope to not get spotted eventually.
Yeah, there's nothing to be done really. I mean, they have to hope that the circle continues to favor them. But FaZe is now intertwined with Tiger Mafia. Tiger Mafia trading 2 down for FaZe. Fuzzface trying to retreat here. Mixie going down. I'm not sure. I think Fuzzface is the only survivor there as Tiger Mafia jumps right up onto FaZe. So FaZe, unfortunately, losing that team fight. I guess the luck had to run out at some point, but right now Fuzzface is still up, looking to go immediately into the defensive, looking to see if he can spot out anyone chasing him. But FaZe goes from favored to very, very nearly out of this game, as we see all sorts of fire being traded as teams try to rotate into this very open space.
Dynamic here trying to dive forward the UAZ, and he continues to get sprayed down by Purge. Purge, it's not a very good position because it's just a shack, but from this position, they were able to get a lot of damage and a number of kills on other teams trying to make their way into the field. And Vanguard here, they have a little bit of the safe zone that they can still play around inside this compound, and they don't want to leave because look at all the empty space they have to travel through themselves. And here is Exalt Gaming to stop them, as well as onto their east, Nam, who are still favored right now just because of all the wide area around their compound and how central their compound is. Turtle Hill taking some shots up the hill on to Air Station Mike players, Jazza and YNCK. Lands a couple of YNCKs, but now he is spotted out in return. And I think is he the only remaining player from?
Oh, look at this! Well, look at this place. Air Station Mike is smoking the door to get a position to get there. Here comes a nade now. So Air Station Mike is doing the same thing now. It looks like Turtle is trying to do a defensive smoke. That's great smoke usage. Using those smokes to press up onto Turtle's position. A lot of pressure coming on now from Air Station Mike, looking to take this shack away, knowing there's only one player in there as far as they're concerned, but that smoke being pre-fired over and over by Jazza. Jazza getting closer and closer now, right on top of Turtle. And actually, Ewin takes him down, pops out, and finishes that off. So excellent utility usage by Air Station Mike, as we see FCE putting pressure onto Exalt Gaming, who just threw a ton of smokes on themselves a while ago. FCE doing good so far. 5 total kills. It's gonna be tough, Cam. It's gonna be really tough.
Yeah, and it's gonna be even tougher now because there's not a single compound outside of perhaps the single shack that Air Station Mike just grabbed for themselves. I don't know if Ultra is anything off of Penta, but there is virtually no cover in this circle right now. It's basically going to be everyone like shoulder to shoulder trying to push inside the safe zone from the edge. And Fuzzface here, he's a little trouble right now because he could be walking directly into Fokita here.
Oh,
inside
Fuzz.
this shack.
He
Okay,
checked it. He checked it.
That's good. He's checking. He suspects.
Oh.
Maybe. No, he didn't see it. He didn't check it enough. And Fokita gets the spray down just barely. And so that's actually going to be FaZe going out in 12th place from first on the full global scoreboard.
I think that they will have enough to maintain their first place position. They did have a ton of kills there, so I think their first place overall is fine. I think Fuzz did know he was in there. He did land a headshot, but the AK just being the advantage there, that extra
Close
damage doing
range.
well.
Yeah.
So Fuzz made the right play, but did not quite get the result he wanted. You see here Longo. Oh, that circle's moving faster than he thought he might have. Now having to jumps out onto Avantgarde, takes down Polka. Keen looking to support and will do so. Anuktiv, I'm not sure where he got that shot from, but oh, the rock there. So
Mm-hmm.
hits that angle, takes him down, and here comes the great migration. All teams now having to move into the zone. TSM have not started moving yet. Purge moving towards them. And here come the nades. Keen actually knocking down his teammate APR, taking out Cup of Magic and finishing there. So TSM now having to make themselves known. Shooting onto Purge. Vis actually taking shots, but ineffectual, and APR also ineffectual as Purge continues their forward movement there. And now you see Exalt moving in beside Purge. So TSM again getting wiped out of this game. But Sonics was downed. I'm not sure who downed him, but might have been one of the either APR or Vis. But Exalt a little bit behind, but have the advantage in manpower as Purge is trying to make this thing happen. I am Phil putting pressure in the zone. Exalt downed one. Chronix still up.
Can you get inside?
I think he did make it in. It looks like it's going to be just Chronix barely making it in. So a lot of damage being done there. Still 2 up. Udyr did make it all the way in. So 2v1 left on Purge there. And Avantgarde has this shack where TSM was set up, I believe, or just inside that area. So Purge actually 2 up as well. So trading blows. But Zoti Nam putting pressure on everybody right now, as is Air Station Mike taking out the remnant member of Penta. So Penta also going out. So Zoti Nam in the field. They do have some natural cover here. They have UAZs to use to position. 4 up are they? So they should be good to go here. And they do have the advantage with the zone.
Nice.
So Zoti Nam is gonna be in decent position here. Tiger Mafia looking to make a splash here all of a sudden, hitting their rotates. Also gonna have an easy way into the zone if they so choose. Air Station Mike having a bit of a travel distance here.
Rotor actually gets dropped by Drainies. That was all the way on the other side of the circle. And so these are some open angles that in this field is going to be a danger for everyone. And Zoltinam need to be on the watch out for that. No more shots are going to be fired in their direction. Perhaps the AWM is being directed elsewhere. But Brainish here in return trying to fire back on Drainies. I believe Drainies literally just picked up that AWM from that crate that car is on. Yeah, Drainies peeking out, trying to go for some more shots, not finding any connections just yet.
Looks like he did.
Oh, that one landed
there.
true.
Yeah, that one did land. He's got a 15x on that there. He's got a 15x on that thing. So good vision happening here. Trying to shoot into the smoke. Not sure what the game plan is here right now for Avantgarde, as they have Purge very nearby as well. Purge hearing that driving. Looks like they're just gonna press this action and get into the zone. Tiger Mafia though set up nearby as well. If he drives too far, he's gonna drive right into them. Dranis just stopping here, looking like he's going to try and return more fire onto Zokti Nam. Udyr on the way in as well. Tiger Mafia making their presence known. Unsure. Now it looks like Air Station Mike has been almost eliminated at the edge of the zone as well. FCE had a great game up to this point, still 3 up. YNCK in that little shack there. And trading slightly. Not sure what's going to happen now. FCE pressing onto YNCK. He might peek again. I'm not sure if he's got the meds for it. Getting closer. Peeks again just to see what the positioning is. Here comes the nade right at the doorway. YNCK does trade. But Tuho Juho finishes that battle. So that is it for Air Station Mike. FCE still in Purge at the back of the circle, shooting into the backs of FCE. FCE goes 1 down. But now the circle is beginning a problem for Purge as they try and get in here. Zokdin Nam doing okay. Udyr also prone at the edge of the zone. So this is a bit of a mishmash. 6 teams remaining, but very disjointed action right now as more trades happening. Crispier, Tiger Mafia still in this game. Looks like they've wiped or almost wiped Zokdin Nam. Iron Me in the last one there. So Tiger Mafia now having a bit of an advantage, Cam.
Yeah, nice push up too. And they had really, I like the split that they did have 2 go into the safe zone and 2 stay out to kind of be a little gatekeep and be some assistance and support from everyone else coming in from the south side, because we remember the swing was heavy northeast. And once they all grouped up, taking out majority of Zoltinam, and now have basically primary position on I'm Phil here though from Purge, slowly
Trying to
seeking in, is
crawl.
taking a little bit of damage from the play zone, can't crawl just fast enough.
When it terminates, it's gonna kill him. Oh, I think he made a mistake there. Yeah, he did. So unfortunate for him, Udyr comes out of nowhere, also finishing that kill. So that's it for that. The AKs are showing in force here today. FCE looks like it's gonna be FCE trying to maintain some level position here, but Drainus is still alive. One left remaining. Iron Mean's still up. Crispier rotating, moving along the edge of that new play zone, looking to see if he can spot some movement. All this grass, a lot of snakes out there, Cam.
Yeah, Crispier, though, doing a good job because they're not going directly into the safe zone. They're swinging and combing down the south side first, and then I guess coming in from the south up, or maybe even just going around the entire edge. There are multiple decisions here, and they know they may suspect that they're in a really good position with 3 still alive because there are only 8 alive, and it's actually considering it as a field. And as you said, snakes, it is safe to assume that there are going to be a number of solos and perhaps duos. Drainy's here, continuing with that M24, trying to spot anyone out on the west side. Doesn't see anyone peek into him just yet. A couple of nades coming out from FCE to Ojuho and Diggory. Could maybe try and get a good position inside the safe zone.
Drainus has good equipment, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to maintain this position. He's got, you know, the UAZ for cover on one side, but he'll have to use it as like a rotate, but he's essentially surrounded. So FCE now moving in closer as the circle is now transitioning. Tiger Mafia trying to edge their way into the zone. Iron Mean also doing the same. So Udyr and Iron Mean are the solos right next to each other. 5 teams up, 8 alive. You know, that math doesn't quite work out, so Drainus must recognize that there's people coming in now. FCE now on the approach. He does take down Juho. Digger right next to him. Doesn't know it.
Doesn't expect the crossfire that Diggory has set up with his teammate. But Diggory not going for the shots yet. He wants to wait for vision or even just snake it out. But now Drainy's gotten a fight with Tiger Mafia, who finally pounced on him. And Crispier does get the full on kill. There you go. And Diggory's now he's just sneaking in the bush. I think he's just but he is just barely inside the safe zone right now. But not much cover for Tiger Mafia on the southwest side.
No, they do have an open fight here, and it is against solo. So the one thing they do have is that if anyone pops up near, like if Iron Mean pops up to shoot, Udyr might take him out. So Tiger Mafia with the strength here, I do believe that they have the biggest advantage. Udyr, again, just sneaking it in. So it looks like it's going to be a passive fight here, as it looks like he has got his team a top 3 finish. So good work there, as has Iron Mean. So he pops up briefly, takes a couple of shots. Lands some, not able to finish on Crispier. Iron Mean must have heard that, so now looking right at him. These guys are getting very close to each other. I think Udyr might be able to spot him if he looks to his left. But Iron Mean, I don't think he has a helmet. Can't quite see him either. That grass acting as a block in the vision as well. Those shots coming out little off. Oh, he did actually hit him, so Udyr has been taken down. So that's going to be 3v1 now. Iron Mean all alone against the remnants of Tiger Mafia, who really broke this game open when they took out FaZe. After that team fight, it was all downhill from there, and it looks like they have this game in hand. They've spread out, and they will finish it. Lots of kills on their end as well. So Tiger Mafia going from 0 kills all the way to all the way to the top of the leaderboard here with 16, and that's excellent work from them. Like I said, they really broke it open when FaZe went down after winning that fight. They did trade, but ultimately coming ahead on top there. So excellent work to them, Cam.
Yeah, absolutely. Once they got that kill at FaZe on the east side, they were not contested as much because at that point, most of the players were on the south, kind of southwest central, or the northwest side in the couple of compounds that were still in the circle at that time. And good positioning from them to kind of keep themselves safe, knowing that they had to go for a big finish this time around in order to have a good placement. And they're in 15th right now, so we're going to see how high that takes them. Let me just quickly ask our producer person if they want to keep us on the mic for scores, or...
I'm pretty sure FaZe has a pretty solid lead.
FaZe are first. The FaZe are first.
Yeah.
There's no way the FaZe are first. It's really what's going to go like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th that I'm curious about. Vitality in 5th because of a disappointing 3rd game. Not much better on this game, so they may slip down to as far as maybe 9th or 8th. Penta didn't do too bad though. They may keep themselves in like the top 3. Air Station Mike currently at 3rd at the end of game 3 and Exalt in 4th. And actually looking at the scores right now outside of FaZe, it is looking more like a linear slope from points, second down to 16. So it's really kind of up in the air right now on who's going to be exactly where outside of FaZe being number one. We know they won today. They won today.
Yeah.
They had, even if kind of bad fourth game 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3 were consistently so good for them that they deservedly won today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, GMT's performance today has been incredible. I don't know what the final tally is going to be, but as of the last game, he had 16 out of the total 35 kills. So really doing a great job there of picking up kills wherever possible. And that led to such a huge lead too that it was basically insurmountable by anybody else in this lobby right now. So like you mentioned, I'd be interested to see where Zokti Nom comes in here because they had a decent finish in the last two games, so they should be relatively in good position as well.
They were ninth at the end of game 3. They were, what was it, 15th at the end of game 2. And so at this may getting a second place again, not too many kills,
Right.
only 4, but a second place nonetheless. This could swing them up maybe even to 6th or 5th,
Yeah, and
if not
Exalt
more.
as well. You know, Exalt has been kind of hanging around the last couple, not picking up a ton of kills either. Really, this was the story of most of the teams that have been doing well today, Vitality, Phase, etc. That this game has kind of seen that a bit of a change with the last place team or the second to last place team taking first place here. So Penta finishing out of the top 5, not many kills. TSM struggles continue. Fakita, that crew. I mean, Quick also going down. They've had a rough day, but Purge did well. They had a decent finish in the last game, so bit of a shift here through the back two, but ultimately it's going to be consistency, and FaZe has
Mhm.
exemplified that throughout today.
What's good though is that outside of FaZe's really good performance out today, it hasn't been like real. There's been a lot of disparity in a lot of the placements of today. And even though obviously you can look at, oh, Vanguard haven't had a very good day compared to Penta or FaZe who had really good days, it hasn't been like, oh, Penta and FaZe have been in control and Vanguard have been like gone out last every single game. And so we'll see what happens in further weeks, but this is looking like the potential. It's only one day, so sample size, but it's looking like the potential for a very, very close season.
Yeah, absolutely. The firepower in this lobby is huge. I mean, every one of these teams has the ability, and everyone has off days. So not to be, TSM can come back easily and have a great week next week. So it is a matter of just day to day flow, and right now consistency is key. So as these teams get used to each other, especially these people who are involved in IEM coming up next month, this is going to be great practice for them to kind of get to know each other and see what the competition is like because a lot of these teams are going to be facing off on land very soon. But yeah, Cam, it's overall. I mean, the games are terrific. All
Yeah.
action throughout most of the game. Little laggy or little slow in the early game, but that's to be expected. But I'm really liking the flow of the game with this new lobby setup. So I think that
Hmm.
was the right decision, at least today. And
Yeah.
ultimately, I'm liking the ability that teams can have to just lay out their
Yeah.
tactics and take fights and not get pressured by all these extra people.
Yeah, and actually, in the meantime, we'll have to wait. There's only gonna be a couple of more moments before the scores come up. In the meantime, I would like to remind everyone exactly how this system works with the kind of two lobby system. Where, so the points that you see on the scoreboard right now, with, for example, FaZe having 725, that's only within this series, this best of 4 series. Once all those scores are tallied, it'll then be placed 1 through 16, and they will get points based on their positioning of first place at 32, scaling down to 1 place for 15 and 16. And then lobby 2, the red and blue lobbies, they will each have the same scoring system where first will get 16 down to 0 for first place to last place. And so it's a similar system to what we had on season 1, where you climb up and down depending on your points. We did decide to put more points in lobby 1 because you're arguably going against better teams. There was a little bit of, I guess, controversy last season over an argument of like, oh, teams get as many points from winning in lobby 3, even though they're playing against arguably not as skilled teams as lobby 1. And so that's kind of our way to balance it out. We'll see if it works out or not. I'm excited. I think it's going to be very cool. And so at the end of all of that, we are going to see a mix up in lobby 1. Just going straight by the points. The What is it? The top 4 teams are going to replace like the bottom four. The top 5 teams are going to replace the bottom 5 teams. From top 5 of lobby 2 going to replace the bottom 5 of lobby 1 when we come into next week. So these are not fixed lobbies. It's not like a pro league and then challenger league or anything like that. So yeah, that's kind of just a little bit of a convoluted recap, but scores are up. Perfect timing. FaZe, of course, unsurprisingly, get number 1, Penta in 2nd, and Exalt in 3rd. And though there was a little bit of a mix-up, not too much was changed after the first couple of games from those after we saw the last 2. So good job for them.
Look at Tiger Mafia.
Yeah, Tiger Mafia. Whoa! Okay, they were 15, and they swung up to 5th off of one game.
You know, that's 16 kills in one game, just absolutely propelled them. And before we skip over them, Air Station Mike, 28 kills, 4th place. So Tiger Mafia went from having no kills and very next to the last place to going to 5th place with 16 kills and a win there. So that is the power of one game, putting them in decent position going into next week. Zokti Nam, 6th place, and it's kind of surprising to see Team Vitality so far out of the top 5. Well, not so far. They're out of the top 5, but with 14 kills, so a tough couple of back end games there. Method middling at 11th, TSM and 12th, and then Big Clan coming in last there. But ultimately, a lot of different swings through these 4 games. Things will equalize as the weeks continue.
Mm-hmm.
But props to Tiger Mafia there. I think that's definitely one of the storylines of today, going from dead last or near next to dead last, no kills, all the way up to 5th place. So good work to them. And obviously FaZe only picking up 1 additional kill in that last game. And it was Jempty. So Jempty got 17 kills.
Yeah, of course it was Jempty, if anyone else. So, and yeah, just at the very end, because we have time, recap on their blue and red lobbies. Red lobby is currently in the middle of finishing up their 4th game, so we don't have a full completed scoreline for them, but currently at the top is Back from Zarky, then Vexed, Lumbermill, Millennium, and SDL Esports, with Dignitas, Ninjas Pajamas, and Action is Coming for 6, 7, and 8. Blue has finished all 4 games, and so first place for lobby blue is going to be the Knights, with TBD in 2nd, No Loot Gaming in 3rd, and then Alliance, Gamers Origin, and Digital Chaos 4, 5, 6, Ronin Crimson for 7 and 8. And so, especially those first 4 teams from these lobbies, we're probably gonna be seeing them in lobby number 1 next week.
Look at Knights had almost 50 kills.
Yeah,
that's insane. They have 879 points. So TBD, the Frost, that's Frost, Balak, T-Dove, and T-Bone, also with 37 kills. So I mean, I thought that FaZe's 36 was certainly impressive, but almost 50 total kills on the Pittsburgh Knights. Looking at the lobby red as well, not quite the same level of firepower, but still Back from Zarky doing quite well. They're holding on to a fairly decent 1st place hold, but the 1 game active there. But ultimately, you know, that's a lot of firepower in lobby blue there. So happy to see that they're doing well. I'm interested to see how next week shakes out in the EU lobbies. But ultimately, excellent games all around, Cam.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking at lobby blue right now. You can see the scores for yourself on PUBG.auzom.gg as a whole. There's some nice clear buttons on that front page website to go check out the scoreboard of how these games went. But I'm just looking at TBD with a first, and 2nd place. They would have gotten 1st if they didn't get 13th on round 4. So it's got to be a little gutted, but at the same time, No Loot Gaming with 11, then 12th, then 9th, and then ending in 1st. They basically saved themselves with their very last game. So I'm actually a little disappointed that I wasn't able to check these out. I don't know if they were streamed somewhere or not that I could check them out later, but nonetheless, we've kept you here long enough. You've joined us for about just over 3 hours. Thank you very much. Hope you had a great time. My name is Cameron Davis, joined by Moses, Skyline on the camera. This has been Auzom Premier League Week 2. EU. We are going back to Sunday.